All right, let's just dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer, where we are going to tackle a massive, honestly, kind of silent problem happening in the medical industry right now. We're breaking down a really specific, highly technical, and entirely automated solution to one of the absolute biggest financial drains hitting healthcare clinics today. We're talking about patient no-shows.
$150 billion. Let that number sink in for a second. That is the staggering amount the U.S. healthcare system is losing every single year. And why? Simply because patients just fail to show up for their scheduled appointments. It's an astronomical loss. So today, we're going to see exactly how we can fix this right at the ground level.
Here is a quick roadmap of where we're headed. We'll start by unpacking this billion-dollar clinic problem, look at why the current solutions out there are failing, and then we'll get into the really fun part, walking through the automated NAN workflow, looking at AI-powered patient reminders, and finally, doing the undeniable math on the clinic ROI. Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the billion-dollar clinic problem, or as it's often called, the silent leak in healthcare operations. What's really fascinating here is how this macro-level billion-dollar issue actually breaks down into the harsh daily reality for local clinics. According to the Medical Group Management Association, the average no-show rate across all healthcare specialties is between 18 and 22%. Think about that. That means nearly 1 out of every 5 appointments on a doctor's calendar just completely disappears. And, this pain isn't distributed evenly either. Even in primary care, which actually sits on the lower end, clinics are losing 12 to 20% of their revenue to no-shows. Dental practices, they're seeing up to 25%. High-value specialists like ortho and dermatology are losing 20 to 30%. And mental health providers like psychiatry clinics, they honestly suffer the most, taking a devastating 25 to 40% hit on no-shows. So, to put that into perspective, let's anchor this in some hard daily numbers. For a specialist, every single one of those empty slots costs them between $200 and $350 in lost revenue. But here's the real kicker. Even after that patient doesn't walk through the door, the clinic's overhead doesn't stop. The lights are still on, the staff still needs to get paid, the equipment is running, it's just pure unrecoverable loss. Which naturally brings us to Section 2, why current solutions fail. Let's look at what we call the broken bucket of manual labor and expensive software. Right now, clinics usually try to plug this massive leak in one of two really inadequate ways. On one hand, they rely on manual labor. You've got a receptionist spending hours every day just calling patients, which costs upwards of $10,000 a year in staff time, and it totally doesn't scale. Or, on the other hand, they resort to expensive SaaS subscriptions, paying anywhere from $200 to $600 a month for generic text blasts that patients just completely ignore anyway. Well, there is absolutely a better way. Let's move right into Section 3 and introduce the real hero of our explainer today, the automated NN workflow. Now, this isn't just some abstract theoretical concept. Just look at this intricate 21-node architecture in the actual NN workflow editor. This is a tangible, production-ready engine. It's built entirely with free tools, and it is specifically designed to perfectly seal that financial leak we were just talking about. Let me walk you through exactly what a day in the life of this engine looks like. Step 1. At 8 a.m. sharp, the system automatically pulls tomorrow's appointment list right from the clinic's Google Sheets database. Step 2. For every single unconfirmed patient, the workflow uses AI to draft and send a highly personalized reminder email, complete with a simple one-click confirm button. Step 3. 4 hours later, it automatically checks back to see who actually confirmed. And Step 4, for anyone who still hasn't confirmed, the system instantly shoots an alert directly to the front desk staff over Telegram. This means they can step in and proactively fill that at-risk slot before it's too late. All right, moving on to Section 4. We need to talk about the specific technological differentiator that makes this workflow so incredibly effective: AI-powered patient reminders. Because look, we aren't just guessing that this works. A 2019 meta-analysis published in the Journal of General Internal Medicine found that personalized digital reminders actually reduce no-shows by 38%. So the science literally proves it. Generic text blasts just do not cut it anymore. Patients only respond to personalization. When you stack the old methods up against this new tech, the difference is just staggering. Generic phone calls, they only reduce no-shows by maybe 14%. Generic emails hit around 21%. But by utilizing an AI engine, specifically Grog AI in this setup,
we are crafting unique messages. We're talking including the patient's actual name, their specific doctor, their exact appointment time. That level of personalization drives real patient engagement, and it pushes that no-show reduction all the way up to nearly 40%. It's a total game changer.
Which brings us nicely to Section 5. This is perhaps the absolute most crucial aspect for clinic owners and tech freelancers alike, calculating the clinic ROI. Let's look at the undeniable math.
So by using this interactive ROI spreadsheet to validate the system, clinic owners can easily plug in their own variables. You drop in your number of doctors, daily appointments, revenue per visit. And what it proves right before your eyes is that even tiny minor adjustments in your no-show percentage lead to massive revenue recoveries. Let's look at a real-world case study for a 3-doctor specialist clinic. Before automation, they were sitting at a 22% no-show rate. After implementing this exact NN system, their no-show rate plummeted to 8% in just 30 days. That recovered $14,000 in a single month. And the staff time they were spending manually dialing phones dropped to absolutely 0. So the takeaway here is the stark contrast in financial realities. The old way means an average 3-doctor clinic is silently bleeding out roughly $248,400 a year, while simultaneously throwing thousands away on ongoing SaaS fees. But the automated way? It's a one-time setup cost, usually priced around $3,000 if you hire an automation freelancer, with literally 0 monthly fees. The whole system pays for itself, reaching break-even in just 10 to 30 days. And the reason you can pull off those 0 monthly fees becomes super clear when you look at this lean tech stack. We're using an NN as the central brain for the logic. It reads from Google Sheets, which is functioning as a completely free database. It sends patient comms through standard Gmail, it uses Grok AI on their free tier to write those personalized messages, and finally, it alerts the staff instantly via Telegram. It is the perfect, entirely automated, 0 monthly cost solution. So I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Is your clinic, or maybe a clinic you know, losing $250,000 a year to a simple math problem that could literally be fully automated in under an hour? The tools are out there, they're incredibly accessible, and as you've seen, the return on investment is basically immediate. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and I really hope this sparks some ideas on how you can start plugging those silent leaks in your own operations. Catch you next time!